What is going on, guys? Welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today I will be doing my pre-combine 2024 NFL Mock Draft 2.0. This is my second mock draft of the cycle, and this is the combine drills officially start on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I will finally be doing a mock draft on this channel. And if you guys would, please like, subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated and help grow the channel. And yeah, there will be a ton of sports content coming up. So this is only the beginning. I'm trying to grow this channel really big. And yeah, let's start the draft. Okay, so there'll be no trades in this draft. The next mock draft I do, there definitely will be trades. But I don't have PFF premium yet, so credit to PFF for this mock draft simulator anyway. But number one overall, I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. I think it's gonna be Caleb Williams. I don't think there's a chance Chicago keeps Fields. I think it's 100% gonna be Caleb. I think not taking Caleb Williams is the way that GMs get fired. And I think it just has to happen that way. And I think that's the direction they go. I think Ryan Poles makes the right decision and takes Caleb Williams for the future of the Chicago Bears. Next up, um, Washington Commanders. New offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, new head coach Dan Quinn. I think they're going to go for their quarterback of the future and draft Drake May right here. Um, Obviously, right behind Caleb, second best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. And I think that's the direction they go. I think they're going to go. Um, Drake May has an amazing arm, really good pocket presence. Come out of North Carolina, he actually sat behind Sam Howell for a few years when they were at North Carolina together. But I think he's the future of the Commanders. I think that's what they take. Number three, New England Patriots, and this one's interesting. I do not think New England takes a quarterback here. I think a lot of people are thinking they're going to take Jaden Daniels. A lot of people have him taking Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner at LSU. I actually think they're going to take Marvin Harrison. I think they're going to see May and Caleb off the clock, and I think they're going to go Marvin Harrison. And I think he's going to be the number one wide receiver in the future. And yeah, I think that they're going to pass up on a quarterback and go with Marvin Harrison. Number four to Arizona, I think that they're going to stick with Kyler Murray. I have a feeling that Arizona is going to go with, they're going to go two wide receivers back to back. Two wide receivers back to back in this order. I think it's going to be Malik Neighbors from LSU. In my opinion, the wide receiver two in this draft. He was Jaden Daniels' number one pass catcher. And I think he will be Arizona's guy at number four. If Marvin Harrison doesn't go three, I think that's where Marvin Harrison will go. But I think they're going to take Neighbors. Number five, Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, this go different a lot of different ways. I could see them trading down. I think trading down is probably the most likely scenario, but we're not doing trades in the mock draft right here before pre-combine mock. So I'm gonna have them staying right at number five, and I think that tough one here because I think they're gonna trade down in real life probably, but I'm gonna have them taking Bowers. I think that Bowers is probably the best player available. In my opinion, the best tight end to ever come out of the draft. And it gets Herbert a pass catcher for them and really number one threat, a really good number one threat. And I think the Chargers are going to take Bowers because Gerald Everett is a free agent and a new guy will be in that room. New York Giants. Here, I could see a QB going. I could see them taking someone to compete, like Daniels, to compete with Daniel Jones. But I don't think it's going to be the case. I actually think they have Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. They're not going to go tackle yet. I don't think. So who would they go with here? Do I think they go QB? I don't think they go QB. I think there's a realistic chance they trade down here. You know what? I'm gonna have them taking Odunze. I think they're gonna draft Odunze out of Washington. Michael Penix is number one pass catcher. Um, their number one receiver right now is like they have Sterling Shepard there. I think actually maybe they released him. Honestly, I think Sterling Shepard's there still. Jalen Hyatt's there. It's like that. I mean, Darius Slayton's there. That pass catching room is not good. It definitely needs another weapon. And I think that the perfect guy to complement Darren Waller in that receiver room is Rome Odunze to get Daniel Jones the number one wideout. Tennessee, I think they're gonna take all line here. I think they're gonna take all out of Notre Dame. Really good tackle, really good run blocker, and Brian Callahan gets himself a offensive tackle ahead of the season where they desperately need it. They desperately need offensive line help. Atlanta. Okay, so this, as you saw in my last video, I predicted every starting quarterback. Right here, I think is where Daniels goes. I had Daniels, as you saw, if you guys saw my last video predicting every starting quarterback for next season, you guys saw that I had Daniels ending up in Atlanta. I think he falls all the way to number 8, and I think he falls into the Falcons' laps. The day I'm recording this, Raheem Morris had some comments in his combine presser. He was like, if we had better quarterback play, I'm not standing at this podium saying he wouldn't get the job if Ritter was better. Because Ritter was terrible last season. They're obviously going to grab a new quarterback this offseason. I think Daniels is the guy. Chicago. So let's go a bunch of ways. If Odunze, Neighbors, and Harrison weren't off the board, I think I would take Odunze. But with that being the way it is, maybe they go Fuaga or Old Fashanu at tackle. I could see that happening. I could see them going to Gene at a corner. Could see them going pass rusher. They might need some pass rush help. And Guake is a free agent. Um, they just took Darnell Wright last season, so I don't think they're going to take a tackle. Okay, I think I'm going to have them taking Jalen Johnson is a free agent, but they think they're probably going to franchise tag him. They're probably going to give him a blank check. But going into the draft right now, I'm gonna have them taking I'm gonna have them taking to Gene because Jaden Daniels, Jalen Johnson, there's questions about his future. People are saying he might get an extension. I think Chicago should give him a blank check. He was like a top 3 corner in the league last year. But with doubts on his future right now, I'm gonna have Chicago taking to Gene for now. New York Jets. I think it's gonna be either Fuaga or Fashanu here. Whatever one the Jets like better, I really have no idea. I'm gonna say they probably like Fashanu better. I think Fashanu's a little bit better of a player. So I'm gonna say the Jets take Fashanu. I think it's definitely gonna be one of the tackles that falls into their laps they take for Aaron Rodgers. Dwayne Brown is out the door, and that offensive line is atrocious. So they're gonna need some offensive line help there. To block for Rodgers. Minnesota Vikings. Okay, this is my spicy pick of the video. I think they reach bad and they take JJ McCarthy. I think this is where he goes, and I think that he's going to replace Kirk Cousins, and I think that he's going to be picked earlier than expected. He's going to fall into the Vikings' lap, and the Vikings are going to take him, and he's going to be their quarterback of the future. Does Justin Jefferson sign an extension? We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Here, Denver, interesting pick here. Garrett Bowles will be back from injury, so I don't know if they take tackle. I could see them taking. I could see them taking edge here, like Dallas Turner or Flat. It would be a good pick. Newton. I'm gonna say in this mock draft, I'm gonna have them taking. I think I'm gonna have them taking Dallas Turner out of Alabama. Um, they need pass rush help pretty bad. Randy Gregory left to go to San Francisco. Obviously, Bradley Chubb left to Miami a few years ago, or the trade deadline of 2022, and they need some pass rush help really, really, really bad. And I think they get that in the first round here with Dallas Turner. Vegas, Jermaine Lemieux is a free agent, and I think this is where Fuaga goes first round. Um, I think will play opposite of Colton Miller, and I think he will be the Raiders tackle of the future. And I think he'll replace Lemieux, give the Raiders some line help. It will be Colton Miller on the left side, Fuaga on the right side, and some good blocking for whoever their quarterback is. You want to know who I think their quarterback will be? Go to the last video. I'm not going to spoil it, but I predicted that they will have a new quarterback. Obviously, I don't think they stick with Aiden O'Connell. New Orleans Saints. They could go D line. They could go Newton or Murphy. Tackles. I think the main tackles are off the board. Fuaga's off the board. Latham's still there, but I think he's gonna fall a little bit more. I don't see him going corner with Lattimore or Debo. Hmm. I think they're gonna get some D tackle help. I'm gonna say they take Jer'Zhan Newton. I like him a little bit better than Murphy, but I think they're very close prospects. PFF has Murphy higher, but I think that Newton is a little bit better of a player, and I think he'll go earlier. They call him Johnny. His name's Jerzon, but he goes by Johnny. Defensive tackle out of Illinois, and I think he falls in the Saints' lap, and the Saints grab him. Indianapolis Colts. I think this is where Nate Wiggins goes, right off the board, ranked number 9 PFF. He's gonna go there, I think. Indianapolis needs cornerback help. They have Kenny Moore. They picked Julius Brents last year, but I think they need another. Like, you can never have enough corners, I would say, to solidify that room. And I think they get some much needed help back there. Kenny Moore's still a really solid slot cornerback, but I think Nate Wiggins is that number one corner that they really need. And I think they're gonna go snag him. Um, Seattle Seahawks. This is where I think JPJ goes. Jackson Powers Johnson really, really shined at the Senior Bowl. Is maybe the best center prospect to ever come out of the draft. This guy's a beast out of Oregon. I'm a Bengals fan. I would like him on the team. I would move Ted Karras to guard and like him at center because he's a really young center, maybe the best center prospect ever. And I think that Seattle is going to pick him and gives Geno Smith, or maybe they move on from Geno Smith, whoever the quarterback, some much needed blocking up front. And I think he's their guy. Jacksonville. So I could see them taking Mitchell out of Toledo, a really underrated corner. Not many people talk about him coming out of the draft this year. Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. They could take Arnold. They could just take Murphy. But I think they're gonna take either Latu or Verse. I'm gonna have them taking. I think I'm gonna have them taking Latu out of UCLA. They're a really good edge rusher. I haven't really ranked my edge rushers yet, like down the line position groups, but I think they're going to take Ladu over Verse. I think he'll be an edge rusher there, definitely. Josh Allen is a free agent. They're most likely going to franchise tag him. As I'm recording this video, he is not franchise tagged, but they're most likely going to tag him, I think. And I think they replace him. If they don't tag him and bring him back, I think they're going to replace him with Ladu at this moment right now. My Cincinnati Bengals. So there was a report that came out today they're prioritizing cornerback, which was interesting. A lot of people didn't like that. And obviously offensive tackle and defensive tackle. So Murphy's a really good option here, I think. Murphy or Mitchell, I think. Maybe Latham. Maybe they go Latham. They don't upgrade the offensive line in free agency. They could go Latham. They could go Mims. Marius Mims is a player everyone's talking about here. Maybe they even go Guyton out of Oklahoma. But I think that they're going to solidify the interior defensive line and grab Byron Murphy the second out of Texas. I think he's the guy of the future, and it gives a really big boost to our interior defensive line. Reader is a free agent. Who knows if we bring him back? Um, in Duke Tobin's press conference today, he did say that they are trying to bring him back. But Reader's going on to his age 30 season, comes off a pretty brutal injury. I think they need a young guy to solidify the interior of that D line. Los Angeles Rams. I could see a lot of things here, but uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say they take Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Um, Kella Witherspoon, I believe, was their number one corner last year. He was their number one corner, Kella Witherspoon. So they need some help in that room. 100% need some help in that room. Jordan Fuller, the Rams safety, is a free agent, but that's beside the point. And I think they take Mitchell there out of Toledo. A really underrated corner, not many people talk about. Steelers. This is a spot that I think they would take Jackson Powers Johnson if he was on the board still. But I don't know here. They picked Joey Porter Jr. last year, obviously, so know that. Hmm. Obviously, that edge room is solidified with TJ Watt, or TJ Watt's considered an outside linebacker, but he's basically a defensive end, and Alex Highsmith. Hmm. Do they take a corner? I could see him taking corner. Hmm. They also could take tackle. They just took Broderick Jones out of Georgia last year, tackle, but I think he's their tackle of the future. I mean, it's a Dan Moore with him right now. All right, I'm gonna have Pittsburgh. I think just taking. I'm gonna have them taking Arnold out of Alabama. Take out Arnold. Um, to team him up with Joey Porter Jr. and get another corner for that deep DB room. Miami, interesting. So I don't think they take a tackle. I don't think they're gonna take Latham or Mims because they have Teron Armstead on the left and Austin Jackson on the right. One thing I think they could take first here because you can never have enough pass rushers. You can never have enough pass rushers. Um, I think they might take first. I don't know. They're definitely not gonna take a lineman. I don't think unless they take a guard. Unless it would be Jackson Powers Johnson if he's still there, but obviously not there anymore. Interesting. They could take Sanders here. I don't think they take him this early though. They could take Chop Robinson. He's been in first round hype in the last few weeks here. But I'm just gonna have them taking Verse. I'm gonna have them taking Jared Verse. You can never have enough pass rushers in the room. Obviously, Bradley Chubb is there. Jalen Phillips coming off a torn Achilles. Bradley Chubb's coming off a major injury too, and I think they're gonna get another pass rusher there because of the two major injuries that were suffered at the end of the year for Miami's pass rushers. So, mm, Philly, no tackle here. I doubt they take a tackle here. Hmm. McKinstry, team up with Darius Slay. James Bradbury was terrible last season, so I think this could be a possibility. It's also a chance. I think they could take Chop Robinson out of Penn State too. Hassan Reddick is asking for a trade, so I'm gonna have Philadelphia taking Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna go here. I think two straight edges off the board in a row. Chop Robinson getting first round hype. Even if PFF doesn't believe that, he's getting first round hype in the last few weeks here, and I think he's the guy that Philly selects. Philly kind of does need wide receiver three, but I think AJ Brown and Devontae Smith solidify the room enough not to take a first round. Not to take a first round wide receiver. Okay. Texans, I think it's a slam dunk. Titus Howard is not the right tackle of the future, I'd say. Obviously, they have Tunsil on the left end, but their whole entire offensive line was beat up and injured in the playoffs by the time, other than Tunsil. So I think they're going to take J.C. Latham going very later than expected out of Alabama to be that right tackle for them and help block C.J. Stroud. That'll be a very good two outside tackles, Tunsil and Latham. So I think that's their pick. Then we have Dallas, everyone's favorite. Stephon Gilmore's getting old. Didn't look as good last year. They obviously have Bland there. They obviously have Diggs. So I do not think they go corner. I don't think they go receiver, even though they might explore a trade for Brandon Cooks. Tyron Smith he's a left tackle, but he is a free agent. I think they could go Mims. Do I take Mims right here? I might. I might take Mims right here. Yeah, I'm gonna take Mims. I'm gonna take Amarius Mims to the Dallas Cowboys. Really good right tackle to Georgia. Green Bay. Green Bay. So this could be where our next corner goes. This could be where Kool-Aid McKinstry goes. They could look at wide receiver, maybe go to Keon Coleman. I think Keon Coleman's better than everyone here. At least they could go Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas is a really good receiver. I think it's probably I probably have Coleman over Mitchell and McConkey here. I really like I really like Coleman. To me, it probably goes Thomas, Franklin, Coleman. Yeah, I'm gonna say Green Bay takes Brian Thomas, the wide receiver at LSU, at the back end of the first round, and gets more help in that receiver room with Wicks, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. They need another, like, they need a solidified number one guy. As I heard a lot of Green Bay fans this week talking about trading for T. Higgins, so that could be some chatter there that they would want a solidified number wide receiver one. Tampa Bay. Shaq Barrett actually just got released today, but I think defensive ends aren't really. Yeah, the next defensive end is like very far down on the board. Trice is pretty good, but mm, I guess I'm just gonna say I take McKinstry. I guess you could team up with Carlton Davis. So I could take McKinstry. McKinstry's BPA right now. I guess they could take Kool-Aid McKinstry, get some help in the DB room. When we look at Arizona, number 27, get them. They are last pick. They took Neighbors, the wide receiver. So I do not have them going wide receiver, obviously. Mm, DJ Humphries and Paris Johnson Jr., who they took last season, are the two tackles. So I do not think they go tackle. Mm, this is an interesting pick. It's like this could be really anybody right here. They need O line help, but they Humphreys. They might have Humphreys. Humphreys is probably good. They could go Peyton Wilson from North Carolina State. Ooh, I don't know. I'm stumped on this one. They already took wide out. They already took wide receiver, so I don't think they take that. Do I just have them taking tackle? I could have them taking Sweat here in the bottom half of the first round. Chris Jenkins. Sweat's way too low on this board. Sweat's pretty good. Uh, I don't know. Chris Braswell? No way. All right, I'm gonna have them taking Guyton, I guess, because I really don't know who they pick here. I don't think Peyton Wilson's really a first round grade for me, like an early mid second round grade. So I'm gonna take Tyler Guyton. I'm gonna say that they get him. Oh, solidify the offensive line. They just drafted Paris Johnson last year. That's why I was thinking, do they take a tackle 2 years in a row? But I think they're gonna slam it, and I think they're gonna take him. Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs. There could be chatter this offseason about him possibly being traded, but that's to be determined. They could take Fatano because they need tackle help on the right side. Spencer Brown, I believe, is a free agent. So I think that could be a pick they go with. But I also think they could go with wide receiver here. They could go with Jordan Morgan. I might have them. Interesting here. I'm gonna have them going wide receiver. I think I'm gonna have them taking Coleman. I think they're gonna take Coleman over Franklin. I think Coleman and Franklin are two very good players, but I think Buffalo will lean Coleman, and I think that Buffalo take their wide receiver of the future with Diggs getting on the older side, possibly having drama, possibly wanting out. Who knows what's going on there? But yeah. Detroit, I wouldn't say they need offensive line help. They're really good there. They could use interior D line help. William McNeil's still there, but Bugs got cut. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know here. Mm, They could take Kingsley. Kingsley's a really good tackle out of Penn State. Ugh. Oof, 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 oof. I think they're gonna take interior D line. So I like Sweat. I like Sweat better than all four of these guys. I like Sweat better than Jenkins, Fisk, and these two. But I think Sweat has like maybe I heard about some injury concerns with him, or there's something going on with him that's causing him to fall. So I think that's going to cause Detroit to take the guy out of Michigan, the reigning national champion, Chris Jenkins, to bolster the interior D line over there in Detroit. I think he's going to go in the first round. This is what I think is going to happen, not what I would do. Baltimore. They could go wide out. Never know. They could go wide out. Um, it was just reported today that they probably going to tag Matabike if they can't reach a deal with him. Ronnie Stanley could be on his way out. You never know. Clown, he's on his way out probably. They probably Queen's probably on his way out. Stone's probably on his way out. They probably have a lot of free agents. that they're gonna need to replace. OBJ's on the way out, so wide receiver could be a thing again. They have Zay and Bateman over there, but hmm, they could take Morgan. I could see them taking Morgan here. I really could see them taking Morgan. Ooh, Franklin, does he go late first? I don't know. I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna say that Baltimore takes Morgan because Morgan is an offensive lineman and Zeitler's a free agent. Stanley might be on his way out. There's chatter about Stanley leaving Baltimore. So I think that I'm going to have Baltimore taking Jordan Morgan to tackle at Arizona to help bolster the offensive line and get a young guy there. And yeah, um, San Francisco, I'm having taking Fatanu tackle. If he plays on the right, if he plays on the right, he played on the left this season. But if he does play on the right, they could move him to right tackle. Or should I have him there? Hold up, let me look who else on the board. Right, well, they already have enough pass rush. Chase Young's a free agent though, so maybe they could take a pass rusher. Oh, hmm, interesting. I don't know. This could be a spot I really see them trading down. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna say I am really stumped about this pick. I'm gonna say they take Braswell. Chase Young's on the a pending free agent, unrestricted free agent, so I'm gonna think they get more pass rush help, even though they already have it feels like a million pass rushers. But I'm gonna say they take Braswell. And to finish it off, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna have them taking obviously a wide receiver, and I think it's either Mitchell or Franklin. I'm gonna have them taking Troy Franklin, the wide receiver out of Oregon, to finish off the first round. And that is my NFL 2024 mock draft three. I mean, not three, 2.0 pre-combine, my final one before the combine. And yeah, this is a recap. I'll slowly scroll down here to a recap of the entire mock draft. And yeah, that's it. Um, Let me know what you guys think about this down below, and I appreciate you for watching. If you did, I don't know, I've been getting little to no views on my first few videos here, so I'm starting to lose like motivation here. And I want to, I want to build this channel and really share some sports content with like other people in the YouTube community. So if you like this video, drop a like, please. It would be greatly appreciated. And that is my pre-combine NFL mock draft. My second one, my first one on the channel, but my second one overall. And I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever whenever you're watching this. And see you next time.